Alright, so spawning over here in the bottom right we have Team LgN's boss as the blue Protoss, and his opponent in the top left is going to be Convergence Gaming's Ragnarok, spawning as the red Protoss. And okay, so let's see here. It is a PvP. PvP has been evolving a lot lately, so should see something that preferably is not, 4-gate versus 4-gate out of these two players. I'm not sure that there's been sort of a definitive strategy that has happened, but it seems like a lot of the game revolves around, getting to 2 bases, getting Colossi, and just having way more Colossus than your opponent does. Both players at, exactly even in probe production. Oh no. It looks like Ragnarok's actually slightly ahead, 1 second, but it's pretty tight so far. Oh yeah, so, I got some downtime, so I'll give you some information on the two teams. I had Convergence Gaming's website earlier. If someone could send that to me, that'd be great, because I can't remember what the URL is offhand, but the LgN, Team LgN has a team website at lgn.the-legion.net. Check us out, see some team news. Like I said, it's a new team, so there's not much on there, but we got some player profiles, we got player information, team information, all sorts of good stuff. And so Convergence Gaming's website, someone's been nice enough to tell me, is convergencegaming.com. Go on there, check them out. They've got a really nice website as well. I was on there earlier. Lots of great stuff about the team. Alright, so we're getting into the game here. Looks like both players are still doing pretty much the same thing, throwing down their gateways and their cybernetics core. I like this though from Boss over here. He's not built his second pylon near his first one. This lets him split up his tech. So if he was going to do something like a DT build, which this second gas could suggest, he can hide it off over here, so it's going to be a little bit harder for his opponent to scout. Meanwhile, Ragnarok is also doing the smart thing, even though his build's a little different. With his pylons together, makes it harder for him to lose power to his buildings. Different strategies, but both pretty useful. Oh, this probe's just being annoying. Alright, we got a second gateway coming out of Cheetah. Or sorry, not Cheetah, Boss. I'm used to casting Legion's Cheetah, but they're both Protoss players. Anyway, coming out of Boss, so he's probably not going to be going for a fast DT build or any kind of cheese like that. Going more standard, get some gateway units, and then some other kind of tech to go with it, probably a Robo. It looks like Ragnarok is getting his third pylon before getting any additional production structures. I'm not entirely sure what this means, what exactly he's going for. It looks like he's stockpiling a bit of gas, but no additional production yet. Oh, here we go. Probe's moving out. It's going to build something. Stargate. Alright, so it looks like we are going to see a Stargate opener from both players. It's cool, except the Boss has that additional gateway, so he's going to have slightly more gateway units supporting it. If he goes for all Stalkers, it could be a bit of an advantage if they both do Phoenix or Void Rays. However, it looks like Ragnarok does have the slight unit advantage here, and he's going to, push out. He's almost certainly going to be able to snipe this Stalker just because of the positioning. It was, well, no, the Stalker is going to get away. He kind of made it around, but he did a little bit of damage. He was a little bit more than just annoying with it, which is pretty cool. Alright, looks like Ragnarok has added on some additional gateways to support his Stargate, and meanwhile Cheetah is... Or not Cheetah, see, damn it, I keep saying Cheetah. Meanwhile, Boss is beginning to pump out Phoenix. Looks like he's about half a Phoenix ahead of his opponent, but he's also adding on that third gateway. So really both players are in the same position now. They both have 3 gateways, or they're both producing 3 gateways, and they both have a Stargate making Phoenix. So this is absolutely going to come down to micro, because they're going to have almost identical armies. Neither player has really considered taking an expansion yet. PvPs generally in the past did not have expansions, pretty much at all. You just see massive one-base play after one-base play, but slowly we're seeing a lot more expansions creep into the strategy. Although it looks like both players are opting against that right now. They probably want to get these Phoenix out and do some harass, and then if they can get an economic advantage to the point where they'd feel safe taking the expansion, they would probably go for it. But until that happens, they might chill on one base. Looks like Ragnarok's going to move out with 2 Phoenix, and at the same time, Boss is going to move out with 3 Phoenix. So really, these builds are almost mirrors of one another, except Ragnarok has a lot of sentries here, and this could be a bit of a liability because he's not going to be able to do much damage to the air units with these, but they're really, really juicy for Phoenix to run over here, pick up, and snipe. Phoenix moving in, and looks like he's actually just going to go straight for the probes. He doesn't even check out the army at the front. 1 Stalker warping in. These Phoenix are really annoying, just like Mutas are, but they have a pretty good deal of health, and the shields regenerate quickly, so generally it's hard to deal with them with just a single Stalker or 2. And in response, Ragnarok moves in with his own Phoenix, but he picked up too many probes there, and actually didn't get any kills. Well, I don't think he got any kills. Could be mistaken. Oh no, he got 2 worker kills to Boss's 6. But he lifted a few too many units at once. Looks like both players are still continuing to pump out those Phoenix. Neither player has felt like taking their expansion yet. These Phoenix are great. They force your opponent to multitask, create a lot of problems. Alright, looks like Boss is going to go for sort of the kill push. I think he really needs to win this, or he pretty much loses the game, unfortunately. So this is kind of an all-in situation at this point, because it's so late. But he's got his Proxy Pylon set up, he's got a bunch of Stalkers, and he's going to use his Phoenix for some vision up on the cliff. And it looks like there are no sentries here, so Ragnarok won't be able to force field him on the ramp, and Boss is almost certainly going to get up into the base. Which is, I'm sure, not what... Oh, there's the great force field. He's got a lot of sentries out front. He's going to be able to chew through these Stalkers, but at the same time, the Phoenix are being extremely annoying, lifting units in the back. Looks like Boss is going to lose this sentry. These Zealots were just wreaking havoc up here. Stalker count got cut in half almost. So I think this hold really went in favor of Ragnarok. He picked up a pretty strong advantage with that force field, and it cost him 2 Zealots to go through like 4 or 5 Stalkers. And at this point, Ragnarok really has 2 choices. Kind of the obvious 2 choices. He can either go for the kill, which it looks like he's not going to do. He's going to stay here, play it safe. So I'd expect to see him throw down an expansion, because he has an advantage, so he needs to make use of that advantage to increase it. So, obviously he can do that by either killing units or expanding. Oh, no, it looks like he is moving out with his army. He hit another warp in, so he's almost at 400 minerals. He could still throw down this Nexus. And here comes the probe, but no, it looks like this probe's going to be going for a Proxy Pylon. Same time, Boss looks like he's in position to take his own Nexus. I'm not sure that he's in a good enough army position to do that. He probably really needs some more actual units before he could consider taking an expansion. Ragnarok looks like he's in a great position to win this game at this point. And he's going to pick off a free Zealot as well, so Boss's army is kind of small as it is. It really doesn't help him to be losing 1 Zealot out front. And here goes Ragnarok moving in. Nice force field, but unfortunately these units are still able to get into the battle. And these Phoenix, just pulling his Zealots out of the battle just for a moment, huge help. Looks like this is going to be a pretty quick GG here. Oh, that pylon on powering 3 buildings at once. That's pretty devastating. Not quite an Arctosis pylon. You got to have 5 for that, but it was pretty close. And he pulls the probes, gets them in on this, but they're not going to be enough. I think he's a little bit too far behind, and he really is going to have to call game soon. Yep, there it is, GG. And so it looks like that brings it to 1-0 in favor of Convergence Gaming.